This is the last video you'll ever need to understand the quantum field beyond space and time. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew. You've been taught that reality is solid, that time flows in one direction, and that space is the final frontier. But what if everything you know is an illusion? What if the reality you see, feel, and experience is not even close to what truly exists? In this video, we're going to dive into the secrets of the quantum field, a realm that exists beyond the grasp of the physical world, a place where space and time lose all meaning. Get ready to question everything, because by the end of this video, your understanding of reality will never be the same. For centuries, scientists and spiritual seekers have tried to understand the true nature of the universe, but the answers have always eluded us, buried beneath layers of ignorance and misunderstanding. Now, we're going to uncover the truths that have been hidden for so long. The quantum field is not just a theory, it's the very foundation of everything in existence, and it's waiting for you to discover its secrets. Are you ready to unlock the mysteries of the universe? Then let's begin. What is the quantum field? How does it define our reality? The answer is simple, yet complex. The quantum field is the very fabric of the universe. It's the unseen network that connects everything, from the tiniest particle to the largest galaxy. It is the source of all energy, the wellspring from which all matter springs. And the most profound thing about the quantum field? It exists beyond the physical boundaries of space and time. Let's break this down. You've been taught that space is a three-dimensional grid, a container that holds everything in place. And time? Well, time is simply the passage from one moment to the next, from past to present to future. But in the quantum world, space and time are not as they seem. They are not fixed, not absolute. Instead, they are part of a larger, more fluid reality that is governed by the quantum field. In fact, quantum mechanics reveals that space and time are mere constructs of our perception. They are not fundamental aspects of reality. Rather, they are emergent properties that arise from the quantum field. Time, as we know it, is not linear. It is not a constant, ever-flowing river. Instead, time is a flexible, malleable experience, one that can bend, twist, and even stop altogether under the right conditions. The same is true for space. It is not a rigid, unchanging backdrop to the events of the universe. Instead, space is a dynamic, ever-changing entity shaped by the interactions within the quantum field. But what does this mean for us? It means that everything we experience, everything we perceive, is not as solid as we've been led to believe. Our sense of time, our sense of space, is limited by our understanding of the physical world. But in the quantum field, those limits disappear. Here, particles can exist in multiple places at once. Time can move backward, and space can fold in on itself, creating shortcuts that bypass the constraints of the physical world. What we call the quantum field is not just a theoretical concept. It is the underlying reality of everything, and what's more, it is not confined to the physical world. The quantum field is a bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. It connects all things, all beings, and all dimensions. It is the realm where space and time are no longer separate, but interwoven, forming the very foundation of our universe. So if space and time are not absolute, what does that mean for our understanding of reality? It means that everything is connected. The quantum field is the web that links all things together. It is the hidden force that governs the behavior of everything, from the tiniest subatomic particles to the vast expanse of the cosmos. And it is through this field that we can begin to understand the true nature of the universe. In the next chapter, we'll explore how the quantum field challenges everything we thought we knew about space and time, and how it opens the door to new possibilities that we could have never imagined. But for now, let this idea sink in. The universe is not what it seems. Space and time are not what they seem. And the quantum field, the invisible force that binds everything together, is the key to understanding the true nature of reality. Space and time, two concepts that have shaped our understanding of reality for centuries. We've been taught to believe that space is the vast, infinite stage on which the events of the universe unfold, and that time is the unstoppable flow that carries us from the past to the present and into the future. But what if I told you that these two pillars of our understanding are nothing more than illusions? What if everything you think you know about space and time is wrong? The truth is that space and time, as we know them, are not fixed. They are not the fundamental, unchanging backdrop that we have been led to believe. Instead, they are flexible, malleable, and dependent on the observer. To understand this, we need to dive into Einstein's theory of relativity, a groundbreaking idea that shattered our traditional understanding of space and time. According to Einstein, space and time are not separate entities. They are part of a single unified fabric known as space-time. And just as fabric can stretch, bend, and warp, so too can space-time. This means that time is not constant. It is not a rigid, unchanging flow. In fact, time is relative. It can speed up or slow down, depending on how fast you're moving and how close you are to a massive object, like a planet or a black hole. The same goes for space. Space is not a fixed, unchanging container for the universe. It can warp and bend in response to the presence of mass and energy. This is where things start to get truly mind-bending. In the quantum realm, space and time are even more fluid than in the world we experience with our senses. The behavior of particles at the quantum level does not obey the laws of classical physics. Particles can exist in multiple places at once. Time can move in reverse, and space can fold in on itself, creating shortcuts known as wormholes. These are not just theoretical concepts. They are real phenomena that have been observed and measured by scientists. And what's even more astonishing is that these strange, counterintuitive behaviors are not limited to the microscopic world of particles. They affect the very fabric of the universe itself. But here's the real kicker. If space and time are not fixed, then our entire perception of reality is built on a lie. What we perceive as a stable, predictable universe is actually a fluid, ever-changing landscape governed by the quantum field. Space and time are not the absolute constants we thought they were. They are simply constructs, temporary, malleable aspects of the quantum field that arise from our limited perception. And once we realize this, everything begins to change. In the next chapter, we'll explore the hidden, invisible world of quantum mechanics, where space and time break down entirely. But before we move on, take a moment to reflect on what this means. The universe is not a fixed, immutable place. It is a dynamic, ever-evolving reality shaped by the quantum field. And once you understand this, you'll begin to see that everything you thought you knew about reality is just the tip of the iceberg. Now that we've seen how space and time are not as solid as we've been led to believe, let's delve deeper into the world where space and time lose all meaning, the quantum realm. The quantum world is strange, mysterious, and often downright baffling. It is a place where the rules of classical physics break down and the bizarre laws of quantum mechanics take over. At the quantum level, particles do not behave in the predictable ways that we experience in our everyday lives. Instead, they exist in a state of constant uncertainty, They can be in multiple places at once, they can pass through solid objects, and they can even be entangled with other particles, instantaneously communicating across vast distances. This phenomenon, known as quantum entanglement, is one of the most mind-blowing aspects of quantum mechanics. It suggests that all particles in the universe are connected, and that the state of one particle can instantaneously affect the state of another, no matter how far apart they are. In other words, the quantum field is a web that links everything together, even if we can't see it. But perhaps the most astonishing thing about the quantum realm is the way particles behave when they are observed. In classical physics, we assume that objects exist independently of our observation. But in the quantum world, things are different. Particles do not have definite properties until they are measured. Until we observe them, they exist in a state of probability, a cloud of potential states that could collapse into one definite state once measured. This phenomenon is known as wave-particle duality, and it challenges everything we know about the nature of reality. What does this mean for us? It means that the universe is not as solid, predictable, and separate as we've been taught to believe. The quantum field is a dynamic, interconnected web that shapes the very fabric of our reality. It is not a passive backdrop to the events of the universe. It is an active, living force that influences everything, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy. And once we understand the quantum world, we begin to realize that everything we see, feel, and experience is just the surface of a much deeper, more complex reality. In the next chapter, we'll explore how the quantum field might be the key to understanding parallel universes and the deeper structure of reality. But for now, take a moment to let the idea sink in. The universe is not as it seems. The quantum field is the hidden force that connects all things, and it holds the key to understanding the true nature of existence. We've just seen how the quantum field challenges our understanding of space and time. But what if I told you that the quantum field could also open the door to entirely new dimensions of reality? What if there are other universes, parallel realities, that coexist alongside our own, hidden from our view? These aren't just theories. They are possibilities suggested by the very nature of quantum mechanics. The concept of parallel universes is not as outlandish as it may sound. In fact, it has roots in one of the most profound ideas in quantum theory, the multiverse. According to the multiverse theory, our universe is just one of many, each existing in its own separate bubble of space-time. But these universes are not isolated. They are connected through the quantum field, a network that links all realities, all dimensions, all possibilities. In other words, the quantum field may be the key to understanding parallel universes and how they interact with each other. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the multiverse comes from the concept of quantum superposition. This is the idea that particles can exist in multiple states or locations simultaneously, as long as they are not observed. In the classical world, this would be impossible, but in the quantum world, particles can be in multiple realities at once, existing in different versions of space and time. This suggests that our reality, as we experience it, may be just one of many possible outcomes of the quantum field's interaction with matter and energy. If parallel universes do exist, then the quantum field is the bridge that connects them. It is the force that allows for the existence of infinite possibilities, infinite realities. But here's the mind-blowing part. If the quantum field can create and sustain parallel universes, then it is possible that our actions, our choices, could influence not just our reality, but the very structure of the multiverse itself. The implications of this are staggering. It suggests that we may be co-creators of the reality we experience, and that our consciousness, our thoughts, and our intentions have the power to shape the fabric of the quantum field and the multiverse. In the next chapter, we'll explore how our consciousness may be the key to understanding the quantum field and the multiverse. But for now, let's reflect on this idea. The quantum field is not just the foundation of our universe. It may be the force that connects all universes, all dimensions, and all realities. And if we can learn to harness its power, we may have the ability to explore and even shape these parallel worlds. Now, let's dive into one of the most profound questions of all. What role does consciousness play in the quantum field? We've already seen that the quantum field is the foundation of everything in existence. But how does our awareness, our consciousness, fit into the picture? Is it simply a product of our brain, or is it something much more vast, something that exists beyond the confines of our physical body? The relationship between consciousness and the quantum field is one of the most mysterious and debated topics in modern science. Some theorists argue that consciousness is a product of the brain, an emergent property that arises from the complex interactions of neurons and synapses. But others propose a radically different idea. What if consciousness is not something that emerges from the brain, but something that exists independently, a fundamental aspect of the universe itself? According to this view, consciousness is not confined to the mind or the body. It is part of the quantum field, an integral force that shapes and interacts with the fabric of reality. In other words, consciousness and the quantum field are deeply interconnected. The field is not just a passive, neutral entity. It is alive, constantly interacting with our awareness and perception. And as our consciousness expands and evolves, it can influence the quantum field, shaping the reality we experience. One of the most fascinating ideas to come from this perspective is the concept of consciousness as a co-creator of reality. If consciousness is connected to the quantum field, then we are not just passive observers of the universe. We are active participants in its creation. Our thoughts, our intentions, our awareness can influence the quantum field, causing it to collapse into specific states, creating the reality we experience. This idea is known as the observer effect, and it suggests that our conscious awareness has the power to shape the very nature of reality. But how does this work in practice? To understand this, we need to look at one of the most famous experiments in quantum mechanics, the double-slit experiment. In this experiment, particles of light, or photons, are shot through two slits in a barrier. When observed, the particles behave like particles, passing through one slit or the other. But when not observed, they behave like waves, passing through both slits simultaneously. This experiment suggests that the act of observation, the act of consciousness, causes the quantum field to collapse, determining the state of the particles. It's as if the universe is waiting for us to observe it, to bring it into existence. What does this mean for us? It means that our consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain. It is a powerful, active force that shapes the universe. The quantum field is not a static, unchanging entity. It is a dynamic, interactive field that responds to our thoughts, our intentions, and our awareness. And if we can learn to harness this power, we may have the ability to shape the very fabric of reality itself. In the next chapter, we'll explore the mysteries of the quantum field even further, diving into the hidden forces that govern the universe. But for now, let's reflect on this. Consciousness is not just an illusion. It is an integral part of the quantum field, a force that shapes and creates the reality we experience. And if we can learn to align our consciousness with the quantum field, we may be able to unlock the full potential of the universe. As we journey deeper into the mysteries of the quantum field, we must acknowledge that there is still so much we don't know. The quantum realm is vast, intricate, and often incomprehensible. There are phenomena that challenge the very core of our understanding of reality, and despite the incredible advancements in science, many of the most fundamental questions remain unanswered. But that in itself is a fascinating and humbling truth. One of the greatest mysteries of the quantum field is the nature of dark matter and dark energy. These invisible forces make up approximately 95% of the universe, yet we have never directly observed them. We know they exist because of their gravitational effects on the visible matter in the universe, but we have no idea what they actually are. Some scientists believe that dark matter could be related to quantum fields that are beyond our current detection methods, while others speculate that it may be the result of some yet-to-be-discovered form of matter that interacts with the quantum field in ways we don't yet understand. Then there is the question of the multiverse. We've explored the possibility that our universe may be one of many, each existing in its own bubble of space-time. But how can we ever truly prove this? What if there are infinite universes, each with its own laws of physics, its own quantum fields, and its own realities? The implications of this are staggering. It suggests that every possible outcome, every possible reality, exists somewhere in the vast expanse of the multiverse. But how can we know for sure? And what about the nature of consciousness itself? We've touched on the idea that consciousness is not merely a product of the brain, but a force that interacts with the quantum field. But if this is true, then what does it mean for the nature of life and existence? Are we simply observers of the quantum field? Or are we active participants in its creation? Can consciousness transcend the boundaries of space and time, allowing us to access higher dimensions or even other universes? The truth is, we don't know the answers to these questions, and that's what makes the quantum field so exciting. It is an uncharted territory, a vast ocean of unknowns that invites us to explore, to question, and to discover. The more we learn, the more we realize how much there is left to uncover. The quantum field is not just a scientific concept. It is a gateway to understanding the very nature of existence itself. And as we continue to explore it, we open ourselves to new possibilities and new understandings of the universe. But perhaps the greatest mystery of all is this: why does the quantum field exist at all? Why is there something rather than nothing? Why is there a universe, a quantum field, and consciousness itself? These are questions that may never have definitive answers, but the quest to understand them is one of the most profound journeys we can undertake. And as we continue to explore the quantum field, we move closer to uncovering the ultimate truth of existence, the truth that lies beyond space, time, and even the quantum field itself. As we come to the end of our exploration into the quantum field beyond space and time, we must reflect on the profound implications of what we've learned. The quantum field is not just a scientific theory. It is the very foundation of reality itself. It is the invisible force that shapes the universe, connecting all things, all beings, and all dimensions. It is the ultimate truth that underlies everything we experience, and yet it remains largely hidden from our senses. We've learned that space and time are not the rigid, unchanging concepts we've been taught to believe. They are not the absolute fixed realities we assumed they were. Instead, they are emergent properties of the quantum field, flexible and malleable, shaped by the interactions of energy and matter. Time can bend, space can warp, and reality can shift in ways that defy our understanding. We've also seen how the quantum field is not confined to the physical world. It is a bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. It is the realm where parallel universes exist, where consciousness interacts with reality, and where the true nature of existence unfolds. The quantum field is the key to understanding not only the universe, but also ourselves. It is a force that connects us all, a force that we are only beginning to comprehend. But the most profound realization is this: the quantum field is not just something that exists outside of us. It is a part of us. We are not separate from the universe. We are an integral part of it. Our consciousness, our awareness, is deeply intertwined with the quantum field. And as we expand our understanding of the quantum realm, we unlock the potential to shape our reality, to explore new dimensions, and to connect with the infinite possibilities that exist within the quantum field. So what now? What do we do with this knowledge? The answer is simple. We continue to explore, we continue to question, we continue to learn. The quantum field is vast, and there is still so much we don't know. But the more we understand, the closer we come to unlocking the ultimate truth of existence. And as we journey deeper into the quantum realm, we will continue to evolve, to grow, and to expand our consciousness beyond the limits of space and time. The quantum field is waiting for us. It is waiting to reveal its secrets, its mysteries, and its infinite potential. And as we move forward, we must remember that the journey is just as important as the destination. The answers may not come easily, but the pursuit of truth, the pursuit of knowledge, is what will guide us to the ultimate understanding of the universe and ourselves.